Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So, what we're going to do with today is basics of a good game. And this is how I made my game Simple Shooter Part 3 and all the other simple shooters. Now I renamed to Strike, like Strike, and then Strike Part 2, Strike Part 3, Strike Part 3 Multiplayer, Strike Part 3 Mobile. So, let's get started. Wait, what was I? Alright. So, I am going to do all this in Google Docs. Six of a good game. Also, let me introduce you to the new add-ons to the setup. First, we have our Apple wireless keyboard. Second, we have our Apple wireless mouse. Both are very great. It's kind of a bit hard to connect them normally since this is Windows, not Mac OS. But I'm fine with it. Like, it's pretty good. So let's start with basics of good game. So, what we want first is story. For okay, so for your game to be understandable, it has to have a story. For example, in what I just thought of, so like you are a guy named Jack that was once Drake King, but and killed him. And Jack Smash. So this is not complete. You have to introduce where he is and the where he lives. That you can replace with anything like Sid X1 land. There you go. Perfect. So I will first story enter. So delete place. I can put that Sid X1 land. Okay, so we have our characters. Characters. Jack, the king, Jack, the killer, and others. Like the civilians, placeholders, basically just any AI, something. NPCs. So now we have our story. So a story basically kind of explains the goal already. So I'll just write that. So goal, find who killed you and reclaim your title as the king. Full stop. So now that we have a goal, we need to have a villain. Now, I just thought of two main villains. One, the killer, that's very important, and two, the killer's boss. So, one killer and killer's boss. So now we have kind of our story, like what makes our game make sense. So now we move on to assets. Very important world in the world of making games. Did I say word? Oh, very important word in the world of making games. So now let's go. So player, player, uh, what is it? So player assets. So since this is a top down, so like you see the player like an RPG kind of thing. So then we have tile world. I call it that. It's basically like the tiles for the RPG. You can just like see Griff Patch's RPG tutorial. You might understand it. Assets. We have the villain assets. And finally, other. So the other assets is like maybe crafting or some things like that. So now we have our story, goal, villain, and assets ready. Now let's go on to code. So code is the most important part of game because it powers the game. Otherwise, you're seeing a bunch of tiles and a standalone object. It's not moving, talking, anything. So code, we have to make player code, the tile world slash map code, villain AI code. This is a lot of stuff. I I'm not going to spell that right. Civilian AI code. Then we have other code. That includes things like text boxes, all those things like talking, all of that, because I don't want to list everything down. So now we basically kind of have a flawless game, but, well, not polished, but a simple game. So what we now want is to do bug fixing and test. Now, make sure you don't like share the project when you're working on it. So that will be a bad choice. So we have all this process. processes, processi. Okay, we have all these processes before we can actually start. Before we can start the, so we can release the game. So bug fixing and testing, that's pretty simple. The name already implies. So now we have release, and then we just wait for any comments. So like any bug reports, anything like that. Then reviews more. And that's basically kind of a polished game, well, a basic game. Now you can add more things. Like I did to Simple Tutor Part 3, I wanted to make it a good game, but then I realized it's simple shooter. I don't have to make it so complicated. And anyways, keep your game simple. If you cram like 1,000 features into there, it'll make it not fun. Players won't like it as much. Just stick to what the point of the game. Guys, look. So all this I was doing, I was using Simple Tutor Part 3 as a placeholder since it's my most polished game, and it went through all of this. So this is just an example. You can make it like if you want. Why am I typing there? I forgot about example. So you can literally make this if you want. I don't care. But this is just an example. Don't follow it. But follow it, but don't use the story. Make it for your own game. Like this is how games actually work. This is how games are made. Let me just create something. Oh, sorry. I knocked over my mic. Now, here are some extra steps. Draw. According to me, this is extra. So, one, add things like better score or variables don't look that good, so add things like better score, the better score group patch tutorial thing. You know why I love you know why I keep mentioning Griff Pets? I basically learned from him. Watching his tutorials and other tutorials, I basically learned everything about spreads. So make it multiplayer. Why not have an RPG MMO for some reason? Like you can team up with your friends to destroy the villain. So your friends could be like your helper, and you could be their helper. Okay, so make it a multiplayer game. You can also see the Griff Pet tutorial on that. I am not making a tutorial about that because I'm, first of all, too lazy. Second of all, it's kind of a complicated process. so that implies I'm kind of lazy. So, in all, that's basically basics of a good game. You can add more to polish it. Just don't add too much, otherwise it won't make it fun. That's what I realized. So that's actually it for this video. Bye.